My name is Andrew Crandall, and welcome to another episode of Journey Through a Lonely Planet. Today, the song that we're going to go through is actually not on the original Lonely Planet, but it's something that I had wrote probably a couple years back, and I really felt that there was, felt that it belonged on the album. And the song is called "Send a Message." Now, "Send a Message" is about a guy who is, basically reminiscing about this broken relationship that he had, and he's basically hoping that he could send a message to the skies and hoping the person would actually see the message, like to see that he loved them and such. And how the song began was I originally listened to an interview. Somebody was talking about Pink Floyd and how they first started out. They're kind of a jam band. They kind of started out, they would jam on like chords like E minor, then A minor, and then they actually would eventually branch off and create a song. And so I was kind of experimenting with that. So I found a real simple drum pattern on GarageBand or whatever I was working on at the time. I think it was GarageBand actually. And came out just a simple synth of E minor to A minor, and then I eventually wrote a chorus, and but I wrote just the music. And so I was sitting there I really liked the music. There was something about it. There was something very soothing about it, and I really liked it. And but I didn't know what to do with lyrically. I was kind of struggling with it lyrically. And then there was a point where I don't know. It was one day I was kind of thinking about, because there was something that happened in my life that was very, very not necessarily tragic, but it's kind of it was a very, very difficult time in my life. And what happened is something, I had a close friend of mine, and so I don't want to go into it because I don't want people to figure out who the person is. But something happened where it really ruined our relationship, and it was partially my fault and partially wasn't, but I'd always felt a very, very deep sense of regret because of that situation, and so I decided to pour out that emotion into this song. And actually, some of my more favorite lyrics are actually in the song. And so when I was preparing, because I tried a couple different versions, I tried, different instruments, tried on guitar, tried on a piano, and eventually ended up going with a electric piano as the bass instrument, and then later on, I built up the instrumentation. It was originally just electric piano, and I think like a string and a couple synths, whatever, and then vocals, and then eventually built up. I had a drum beat, and it finally ended on the chorus, and then and then it went to a guitar solo at the end instead of the normal middle. But anyways, I kind of felt it was really important to put the song on the album, and it's not the best as I would personally want. I think I'd probably do another rendition and release it as a single later on, but I kind of wanted it to be a part of the album because of the meaning, and it's just very, very dear to me. And so let's take a look at "Send a Message." So the basic arrangement is pretty simple. I'm just using an E minor and A minor for the first 3/4 of the verse, and then I switch it up to an F and a G to make it a little bit more interesting, and it actually builds up to get to the chorus, and the chorus is C to an F, C to F, then I change it up, I go to A minor to a G to an F, and then I throw in a D minor, and I just really like that progression. So basically, here's the first verse and the first chorus. It's sitting here on this empty beach, allowing the water wash over my feet, washing away these memories of the things I never had a chance to say. If I could send a message high above the clouds, I would say I love you. Let that message echo loud. Never knew how to tell you all the words I had to say, but now I have to let you and your memories fade away.
Sitting here on this empty beach, allowing the water wash over my feet, washing away these memories of the things I never had a chance to say. If I could send a message high above the clouds, I would say I love you. Let that message echo loud. Never knew how to tell you all the words I had to say, but now I have to let you and your memories fade away. I was young and so afraid.
Okay, so the new arrangement for Send a Message is actually very, very simple. I started out with an electric piano, kind of give it a really almost 70s vibe. And then as soon as my vocals kick in, you hear a acoustic guitar strumming. The chords is just on single strums. And then I have what's called a Bell Sphere dark filter, which is a pad, kind of fill out the music. And then when it gets to the chorus, the first chorus, the drums kick in with a very, very subtle beat. I got a subtle bass line, a soft rhythm guitar, and more. I got actually an additional acoustic guitar, and then I have this vibe guitar, which is an effect that I stumbled across while I was playing electric guitar for a church called The House, and we were doing this very soft worship music, and during the practice, I found this effect. I basically combined a vibrato with the wah pedal, and it created this running water type of sound. It just was so cool. And I tried to remember that using it for a future song, and I happened to decide to put it in this song. And finally, I added this kind of rhythmic synth called stepper, and so there's a lot of like subtle movements going on during the chorus. And then when it gets into the second verse, the drums kick a little bit harder. The bass is a little bit more rhythmic, and then when I get to the chorus, I've got actually more harmonies going. Instead of just the main melody line, I got two harmonies coming in. So it basically breaks into a 3-part harmony. And then I also replaced the stepper synth with this electronic collision synth, which was almost very similar, but it had a slight
difference to make it stick out a little bit more. And another thing is that I kind of, looking back, I probably should have added something extra in the last chorus to make it stick out, but at the time I didn't think I needed to, so I'm kind of stuck with that. But then finally the song ends on a guitar solo and then it fades out. And here's something else that I want a lot of you to really think about, especially if you are singers, is as we get older, our voices change. And for me, it's very obvious because I listened to some of my very first recordings on that 4-track, and I can tell that my voice is much younger because it's a little bit higher pitch. And then, so this is like when I was in my 20s. Now I'm in my 40s, and my voice has obviously changed. And another thing is, like, if you don't, it's kind of like the old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And there was a time that I wasn't using my voice, my singing voice, as often as I should have been. And so when I did try to get back into recording, I was noticing that I couldn't do a lot of the things I was able to do. I didn't have the range. I didn't have the breath support that I used to have. So when I did start getting back in, I started doing more vocal exercises. I found different videos online, doing vocal warm-ups, exercise and such. And as I continued to do that, I noticed that my voice started coming back, and I started getting my range back and such. But why I'm saying that when it applying to this particular song is that it's embarrassing to me, but it's true. Is that when I recorded the chorus and I was doing the layers, and it's probably because it is in the lower part of my range, some of my pitches were off. I couldn't tell it when I first recorded. I would listen to it and it sounded fine because I mixed it a certain way. But when I got it back from Mike Nelson, I could hear it more predominant. I mean, something about the way Mike mixes, that he makes everything very, very clear and distinct. And for me, sometimes it points out the negative side of my production where I realize, oh, that's not good. I didn't notice that I screwed that up, or I didn't notice that I was flat there. And so he ended up, first I tried to redo the vocals, and he ended up just fixing a lot of stuff in Melodyne, which was embarrassing, but that's the truth of it. And it's again, like, with our voices, we get older, we got to keep them up. We got to keep singing. We got to keep warming up, keep practicing, keep our voices, our muscles, just constantly working.
Sitting here on this empty beach, allowing the water wash over my feet, washing away all these memories of the things I never had a chance to say. If I could send a message high above the clouds, I would say I love you. Let that message echo loud. Never knew how to tell you all the words I had to say.
So again, I hope that this is helpful for you. Like I said before, I'm not the best songwriter. I'm not the best, singer or whatever. But I do enjoy what I'm doing, and I love sharing my experiences to help other people. So if you do find these videos helpful, please subscribe, please like it, hit the bell notification so you know when the next video comes out, and just leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If there's any aspect of the writing that you want to know more about how I work, just please leave a comment. Until then, till the next time, please make the world a better place by using your imagination. Okay? Thank you, and God bless.
High above the clouds, I would say I love you.
The chorus is C minor. I hope that you can look at. So with the, I'm just going to. I hope as I open up, what my process is and what